Remember all those articles that came out about Spider-Man 2 being only 15 hours long and everyone just lost their minds? Well, I'm here to tell you that they are technically true if you stick to the main quest. I mean, most initial people beat it in a weekend, but now that the hype has died down and it went 0-7 in the Game Awards, let's take a look at the game from a busy gamer's perspective to see if it's worth your most precious currency, time. Gameplay's up first. Largely unchanged from the first game. If it ain't broke, why fix it? Swinging in this game is amazing. Yeah, it really does make you feel like Spider-Man, as IGN likes to say, and the whole internet now. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. What is new to Traversal is gliding. Sometimes mandatory, but mostly optional. It is a welcome shakeup that mostly takes the place of the subway system. And, what are even loading screens these days? Combat is similar to the first game, with a lot of quality of life improvements and a lot of tweaks and reading material and practice with new techniques, one for Peter, one for Miles, one for both. One new change that is extremely welcome is the addition of the web line. If you want to go hard on stealth mode, this feature 100% delivers. Suits, I'm not gonna lie, they are very disappointing in this game. In the first one, each suit had a particular ability attached to it and which made you strategize which suit to use. Here, they are just purely cosmetic. They're definitely very cool looking, absolutely, do not get me wrong. My favorite one is the Daft Punk one from Miles. But for time management, you should be more motivated to upgrade your gear and your skills and stuff rather than putting all your eggs into the cosmetics of the suits there. Quests this time around are definitely good. There are some that are very fun, there are some that are very just kind of seeming a little bit political, which I'll get later. There's one thing that I really think you will like, and that is the Mysterio quests. Some of them are very, very challenging, and some of them are just basically impossible. There's one that I had that I just really couldn't even do, so instead of 100% of the game, I 98% of the game. Even on story mode, this thing is still, bonkers hard. The plot this time around follows Kraven the Vamp. He has somehow gotten bored of hunting down an entire jungle and wants to change the scenery from plant life to concrete jungle, and wants to kill the villains of New York City. It is now up to Peter and Miles, taking a cue from No Way Home, to save these villains, whose motives are not really sinister, but they did do bad things for the sake of good. You have Sandman, whose daughter he's fighting for. Mysterio, does he trick people for his own motives, or is someone else pulling the strings? And the Lizard really can't even help his condition, so he needs to be stopped, but the man himself just wants to heal his arm. Venom here, you see him in the marketing, obviously. He's in the game way less than I thought he would be. Even though his time is somewhat short, it is very sweet. He is used very effectively in critical scenes, and it is a marvel, no pun intended, of what they were able to do in the game. Kraven is also a very menacing villain and very fun to watch. The entire time you're going to be thinking, how in the heck is he going to take this guy down? I mean, look at this dude. He's just absolutely massive. Miles' arc is also very good. He's forced to struggle with being in the presence of a guy who killed his dad. Rooting for him to do the right thing is very satisfying. Fun fact, the actor who plays Miles, Nandi Jeter, actually learned sign language so the motions would be more accurate in the game. That was very impressive. Whereas the first was focused, I think, more on telling a story and building out its world, this one seems to be using that world and characters to kind of make statements on issues that we are facing today, which is evident in the side quest and the Mary Jane missions. You've probably seen the reviews and heard MJ takes on a boatload of trained assassins with a taser.
Which really puts into question how much of a threat these guys actually are, if all it takes to stop them is a redhead in an ugly sweater.
While they do take you out of the experience a little bit, definitely be prepared for them to show up in Spider-Man 3. And according to Somniac, if she's a little OP, I don't give a... That's fine, I don't care. Will this affect your overall enjoyment of the game, though? No. All I really mean to say is you may not care for this game as much as you did the first. It's inevitable to compare sequels. The first game's NJ missions may not be popular, but at least they focused on Peter and MJ working together, and she helping to accomplish the mission in ways that Spider-Man really couldn't do. I mean, hey, working together is cool. I'd say bring on more of these missions, but make them more like the first game than the second game in Spider-Man 3. The biggest thing a busy gamer has to consider with any game is time. The 15 to 17 hours it takes to beat the main story and the additional 15 it takes to do everything else that the game has to offer is kind of perfect for those who really only have time for a few games this year, because groceries are already expensive and ain't getting any cheaper, and your job demands most of your time as it is. Despite maybe you don't care for this one as much as the first, maybe you like it more than the first. There's really two sides, everyone's tastes are different. Regardless, the game is worth a day one purchase and is worth interrupting your backlog to complete this at 100%. Let me know if you could not complete the Harlem Mysterio missions. That was like really difficult. Even on story mode, my best take was 1 minute and 3, and you have to beat these guys in under a minute. So either way, from our reviews from a busy gamer perspective, check out the set of videos recommended to you by the algorithm thingy right there, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Keep the fire wielders! Take out the spider!
Nice! I was wondering if this could get any harder.
Out of the way! Make them bleed for that! We're coming here!
I wanted more from you.